Oh, hello. Welcome to Unheard, Music from the Highlands, a special series celebrating original music from the Highlands of Scotland. I'm Siobhan Neelan, and along with Ellis McFadden, over the course of this series, we'll be meeting the artists who are forging their own path in the music industry. Far from the usual scenes, but no less powerful in their sound and vision. From lockside bedrooms to village halls turned studios, these are the stories of musicians creating on the edge, pushing boundaries, blending influences, and staying true to their roots. This series is about more than just music. It's about place, perseverance, and the voices rising from the hills. This is Unheard. Welcome to episode 2 of our podcast Unheard with me, Siobhan Neelan, and
me, Ellis McFadden.
How are you, Ellis?
I'm grand, thanks,
Yeah.
grand. It's interesting to get together all these people with different backgrounds and different ideas and hear how they're developing all their music.
Yep. So this week we were joined by fantastic local artist Calum Jones. Calum is one of the youngest people that we are interviewing for this series, but definitely Ellis, after chatting to him, as you'll hear, one of the most mature people.
Indeed, so well grounded and a great knowledge. He's been there and done it for such a tender age, really. Yeah, an inspiration to
absolutely
anybody who would be wanting to come into the music, whatever age they were.
Absolutely. Ellis imitated me. I was just jaw-dropped through listening to him. He's
Indeed.
in the presence of greatness. So we explored lots of topics around Calum's background and how he came into music, all of the effort and time he put into getting to where he is now. He's got a backlog of albums and recordings, and then a couple of singles which we've showcased in the podcast. We hope that you enjoy that. But yeah, I think I learned quite a lot from Calum.
I think everybody would. Inspirational, it's just the word that I keep saying, but it's so true. It was just lovely to listen to him.
Yeah, and listen you will, because Calum is full of chat in this podcast. So we really, really hope you enjoy it. And thanks for listening. This is Calum Jones. We're going to hear him pick up on where he started in the music industry. Enjoy.
Hello, how are we all?
Indeed.
Okay.
Super duper.
Yes, well, so this is episode 2 of Unheard, our podcast about Highland artists, and so we're really pleased to introduce you to Calum Jones, who may not need much introduction from any, but Calum, you're a Highlander. We're going to figure out about where you're from, what brought you into a bit of the music here, and where you're at now.
Awesome.
So yeah, and Calum was just telling us there that he's up very early at the crack of 2:00 this afternoon to come and see us, trying to adjust to his playing lifestyle of the grafting that you do, which is gigging all over.
All the time.
Yeah, so I'm curious about that. I've a lot of curiosities about the world of the grafting musician and the recording musician, which you are. Ellis has played with you before. We were speaking a little bit earlier about...
Well, once we were in the same bill. It was a songwriters showcase. Was it Rob Ellen that organised it?
Yeah.
In Hooten Annie's. I thought it was 2017, but you think maybe 18?
Maybe 17.
Maybe 17.
Yeah, I was still a baby.
Yeah.
I was young. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
But you're
But
not still...
But I tell you,
I'm
Maybe
old
it is.
inside. I'm old inside now, tired and withered. Yeah.
but you stood out from the rest of us. I mean, we did our own thing, but then when you stood up, this wee boy stood up, if you like, and the sound was just wonderful. The guitar and the
Thank you,
voice.
sir.
We thought, this boy's going somewhere. He's got it. Yeah.
Thank you,
And
man.
you certainly seem to have proved that. Yeah. So yeah, I'm keen to know a bit more about your guitars, and I understand you play all the instruments, do you, on your albums?
Yeah, so when I first started playing, I'd like grown up playing drums and stuff. I think I started playing drums when I was like 8, and then I gave that up. To be honest, I went and learned drums after having gone for my first piano lesson, I think I got half an hour in and then decided this ain't for me. But he had a drum kit in the corner, and I was like, let's hit stuff. Show me that. And yeah, I came out into my mother's dismay.
Yeah.
I was like, I play drums now. Yeah. So yeah, I ended up getting a kit, played in a bunch of Cayley bands and stuff after I hit high school. And to be honest with you, when I started singing and stuff, it wasn't even because I wanted to like do it as a thing. My dream was very much to be a drummer and do that whole thing. And yeah, I was in a band for a while, and I'd asked if I could do backing vocals, and the vocalist in that band was like, nah, but in a rather impolite way. Yeah, at that point I was kind of just like, well, nah, I still want to do it, like, let's go for that. And my little brother was getting guitar lessons at the time in the house, so I kind of just like jumped in on that, and eventually ended up stealing his guitar.
Yeah, stealing his thunder.
Yeah. But yeah, and then I, like, after that, it wasn't even really about the whole singing thing for me. Once I'd learned how to play guitar, it was more to like be able to write and accompany myself in what I was doing for that. And yeah, same thing for that. Kind of when I had 10 songs, I was like, well, I've got 10 songs, that's how long an album is. Let's record an album. So I said to my mum, I was like, I want to record an album. She was like, okay, cool. And I did it, and it was just for myself at the time, and we printed it on CDs, we did the whole album art thing, and it was cool. But at that point I was like, I want to produce these a little bit more. Hadn't really played bass before or anything, so I was kind of just guessing. And yeah, just did it myself with Steve Bull up at Allness. Yeah, I think I was like 16 when I did that one, which was I actually listened to it for the first time since then, maybe like 2-3 months ago, and I was actually like, this is not as bad as I thought it would be. I was pretty chuffed with it, and some cool songs that I'm actually thinking about going back to and like modernising and doing in my own style now. Now that I've grown a little bit. But yeah, I've just always, like, as I progressed through my writing, my playing would improve, because I was always like, if I want, I can like hear it in my head, and then once I've got the bare bones of it down, I just like try and figure out what the parts are, and then practice them until I can play them, and then and then just
add them in.
Yeah. So it's always just been me and an engineer, and then as I grew, I did some stuff down like in London. And that's how I got introduced to the engineer at CDS Studios down in Essex, Mike, and me and him just like clicked the first time we met. I literally speak to him in noises, and he translates it, and he's like, "This what you mean?" Yeah, that's the sound. Okay. That's the sound.
Is there a track that he's worked with you with that we could maybe introduce at this part of the programme? Let's hear some of your music.
Mike did my entire third album with me, and all the singles I've recorded and not released since, because I've been stuck in a rut and just haven't done it yet. But yeah, actually one of my favourites off of that album, which was a song that I'd written completely out of style from anything I had done before, and I actually started with the drum groove because it was an exercise I had taught myself to try and get better at flams. And it was just like this big heavy tom-filled 6/8 groove, and I ended up writing this kind of like singy, rappy, aggressive, heavy thing over the top of it, and yeah, it's called Suicide. It's the last track on my Mirror Glass album.
Okay, dokie.
And yeah.
Well, let's maybe just listen to that one just now.
Yeah.
Thanks, Calum.
Suicide is, and always has been an option. If you ain't answering my calls, then who the is gonna stop me when I'm reaching for the bottle and pretend that it's a gun? Put it to my head, pop the cap and drink it till it's done. This is nonsense. What have I become? I wasn't always like this. Now my legs are feeling numb because the weight of this fake smile that I've been carrying for months is finally broken me down. Life is such a beautiful game, and so many people try to cheat. This is my philosophy.
was Suicide by Calum Jones. And yes, it certainly does express all the different musical attributes you've put onto it. I mean, the help with your engineer, man. It's great to hear more about that. But to tell us what else have you done? Is that main thing recently with him? Have you done anything else with others, collaborations?
I started writing a couple of years ago with an artist called River J, or Jess Richardson.
Yeah.
Jess Richardson.
Okay.
We met at BBC Introducing in 2019 down in London. I'd gone with some of the people I was working with at the time that were trying to like help me develop a bit of a brand behind myself because we have to do that as well apparently. But yeah, I'd gone to BBC Introducing and I'd been cutting about all weekend, and Yamaha had like a showroom full of guitars and drums and keyboards and stuff, but they were also doing like little 15-minute like showcase things. And I'd gone in one of the days because I'd fallen in love with a couple of their guitars and really didn't want to leave the room the entire weekend. But yeah, I'd managed to get myself into one of these little slots, and they ended up asking me to come back the next day as well. And because I basically just stood on stage and sold their guitars for them. I was like, if you don't leave here with one of these, then you've done something wrong. It was just after they brought out the trans acoustics that had like the built-in reverb.
Oh right.
Madness, utter madness. But yeah, so I did that, and Jess was at one of those little showcase things and came up, gave me her card, and yeah, obviously it's 2019, so she gave me her card. We were like, let's work together, and then boom, COVID hit. So that one took a while to kind of get off the ground running, and yeah, I'd kind of just like, I'd never written with anybody else before. I'd always just done it myself, and yeah, I found her card again by happenstance, and I was like, let's call that lady because she seemed cool. And we've become really, really great friends. I go down there a couple of times a year. We write some tracks, record them if we have time to record them. She is like an amazing producer, so she does all the production herself and all the mastering and mixing and all that sort of thing.
And she's doing backing vocals in some of those tracks.
Yeah, but what's amazing is we've ended up writing a bunch of tracks that we love, but actually our intention going into that was to write for like sync and like film and TV and adverts and stuff. So it was all with the intention of like pitching to these companies and supervisors and stuff that can get us on ads or like get us a little bit in a TV show or something like that. So, and that was something I had never done before either, like writing with an intent to appeal to this sort of thing. So it was a very strange like diversion for myself because I'd always just written what I wanted to write at the time, but going into like, and as well for me, like not being a producer and only ever having worked with like a guitar with an amp, and then you make the amp and you get the sound through the amp, all of this like computer-based stuff where you can play drums on a keyboard, and that was never, that had never been something I'd done. It's never something I had ever done, so it was a totally new ball game for myself. And yeah, like it's opened up myself. It's opened up things for myself in my writing where I'm like, oh, this could appeal to this sort of thing. Sorry, I just smacked the mic if that hit anybody's ears. But yeah, it's really opened up windows in my head to be like, how can, if I'm feeling like a certain way about a track, then I can go like, how would that associate to like a scene in a film? What's my scene in the film that I'm now thinking about when I'm hearing what I've just written back? And then some like one of the songs I just wrote because I just proposed to my girlfriend a couple months ago. But
congratulations!
Yeah,
Indeed.
thank you. It's it's awesome. Like life is moving. But yeah, I'm terrible with words when it comes to words being used in an emotional manner because I cry real easy.
Yes, your bladder's up at your eyeballs. I'm the same, Calum. Yeah.
I cry real easy, especially when I'm happy. And it's the most nuts thing.
I hope you cried when you proposed, then.
But yeah, I decided I was like, right. I've got so many tangents I can go back.
Oh, that's perfect. You go ahead.
But I proposed to her the other month, and I hadn't done any writing for ages. Whilst also at the same time being away from her for 3 months because I was living down in Dorset because I also build guitars now.
All right.
Wow.
And so I was off doing another course on acoustics.
Was that inspired by you seeing Yamaha guitars and and how good? Oh right, okay.
Like by Yamaha, the way these people talk about all their stuff, like just like all the influences and stuff, and then coming into guitar, and having like, it's a really weird profession to be in when you're looking at all of it at once. And yeah, for ages I'd always been like, I want to get like mad famous and play massive shows and do all that. And then as I grew up and kind of like learned about the world a little bit more and figured some stuff out, I was like, man, I really don't want that many people knowing who I am.
Yes, yeah.
Like, I'm a bit of a hermit, I'll be honest with you. And yeah, so like it got to the point where I was like, I don't really know if this is what I want to do full time anymore, but also I get to do what I love, and I'm in an extremely lucky position to be able to do that every day, and sometimes even though it has to be every day. And it's like, but yeah, so I was down there and I hadn't done any writing, and I was up here before I'd moved down there gigging full time, like 5 to 12 days in a row, 2 shifts a day, and then yeah, there was just no time, or there was no time to write, but there was also no time to think or feel anything to write about.
Yeah.
So when I'd gone down the road, I was also stuck in that rut where I'm like, I haven't been able to write anything for 6 months, and I feel guilty about that.
Yeah.
I've also not done any of the self-promotion that I had to do because I hate social media and I really struggle with it.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I was at that point where I was just like, I've done nothing that I've had to do, and I don't know what I'm doing, and I don't know why I don't know what I'm doing, because I should know what I'm doing. I should be making music. But yeah, I think my head was too lost in the whole, I need to be making music and selling it to everybody and getting it as far and as wide as I can. And then yeah, when I was down there, it was also the first time I'd been by myself in my life at all, because I stayed with my parents before. Well, I still stay with my parents, and we're now moving to a craft together, so we've always been together.
Yeah.
And now I'm with my fiance and my stepdaughter, so we've now got that all together as well. And moving down there and being by myself for the first time, I was like, whoa, this is a bit crazy.
Yeah.
And I was in the middle of nowhere by myself, like it was me in one house next to me, and that was it. But I kind of gotten to the point where I got 3 weeks in, and then I was like, right, cool. I started going to the gym, got myself in order, started eating properly, and once I did that, I realised I had way more time to like actually sit and think in my downtime, because I wasn't surrounded by all of this stuff, and because I was focusing on the guitars, I wasn't thinking about how do I write the best song ever and get people to like it. When I sat down to write, I was just writing what I felt. And I've come away with 2 of the most beautiful songs I've ever written, and one of them is probably the best song I've ever written, hands down, to myself. Yeah, it was just because I wasn't trying to do it for anybody else. I was just doing it for myself.
Indeed.
And,
sounds like you were, for too long you were in the hole digging, but not knowing where you were digging to.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
we look around for a bit and get a bit of bearing where you are.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
it's a really strange, music is a really strange business to be in if you're not sure what pigeonhole, if you don't want to be pigeonholed to be, I am this and I do this and this is what I do all the time, and you're still trying to figure that out. Because like I started music when I started like working as a musician when I was like 13, and I've never done anything else. So like to me, and this is where my extremely supportive parents come in, they were always just like, cool, yeah, do that, and we'll find a way to make sure that if you want to do that and that's what you want to do, we'll find a way that we can make that work for you, and that's your job. So they helped guide me into the mindset of being a successful musician and being a famous musician are 2 totally different things. You can have a song that goes great and still not be successful and steady and have work and all that sort of thing. So when I got to the age where I could actually be gigging in pubs properly, like 16, 17, I ended up getting an agent through in Inverness that sadly now has passed, but Rossi Ross. Inverness, absolute legend, one of the goldest guys, and was just totally there for the music in Inverness and everybody who wanted to play. But he got me into the pubs when I was 16, 17, and that was the start of my full time. And then over the past like 3 years I've been full time, like no bother, like 5-6 days a week. I'm now at the point where I'm actually like, I look at the year ahead and I'm like, I want to take these days off and I want to have my weekend, even if it's like a Monday, Tuesday, and I still work the weekend, but like structured time off, and like
It
doing it
sounds
properly.
very organised and grown up. But what age are you now, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 23 now.
23.
And I can put my hands up and say it's definitely my mum that has kept it
Yeah.
it all nice and organised.
I see that, 'cause
Yeah.
I used to see your mum taking you around all the open mics and this one and that one. And
Yeah.
she was very supportive of you at the time.
It used to be I would wake up in the morning and I would say, "Where are we going today, Mum?" And now it's I wake up in the morning and I phone her and I say, "Where are we going today, Mum?" But yeah, no, it's just like, but yeah, no, she still comes with me everywhere. Yeah, it's awesome.
That's
like,
good.
I definitely wouldn't be as far on in what I'm doing, and I definitely wouldn't
Indeed.
love what I'm doing as much if it wasn't for my parents being as
Yeah.
supportive as they are and being as realistic with me as they were. Because yeah, it can be a terribly heart-wrenching thing when you pour your heart into this creation that you've birthed from your mind, and you think it's going to be everything and it'll do everything for you, and then it's kind of just like, eh.
Yeah.
And the hype, you could put so much time into promoting it, and you can invite as many of your friends as you like to that opening gig, but 12 of them will come because, yeah, I remember one of the most heartbreaking days, and one of the most heartbreaking gigs for myself was the first time I'd had a band with my best friends, and we had our debut gig in Glasgow. They were all in uni in Glasgow. I wasn't from there, so I was like, let's do it in Glasgow because all of your guys' friends are there. They're all musicians. Everybody supports everybody, and yeah, no one turned out. No one turned out,
Indeed.
and yeah, even if they bought tickets, still didn't come.
You
And
want
it's,
them there. I think that's the thing,
Yeah.
that it's not, maybe at that point it's not about that financial thing, it's about believing the hype that you put into, you know, the work behind it.
And just like supporting your pals. There
Yeah.
seems to be a real like societal change where even friends in the music industry don't seem to support their friends anymore.
Do you think it's something to do with the volume of material that's out there? And there's so many people writing songs, singing songs, anywhere you go. You can't buy everything. You can't be there to support everybody all the time, or listen to everything, or read every book that's available.
Yeah.
So I just don't know.
There's
Are you saying we should be a smaller community? And
I think people should just turn up. I think people should stop worrying about, obviously there's a financial aspect to these things
Yeah.
where it comes to like renting venues and stuff and all that sort of thing, but I don't know, the technology's in the way now. It's so easy to
yeah, I
listen
think
to
it's
everything.
that, isn't it? Maybe you can watch things back quite easily, or you can watch the YouTube video, as opposed to, well, I've heard of this guy, Calum, he's really great, and my mate Calum is playing, you know, really, and there's a distrust almost because you have to go and check it out yourself rather than seeing it live in person.
I would love, like, some of my favourite gigs come from bands I've never heard of that I've just walked up to at a festival.
Yeah.
Or that I've just met at random. Do you guys know the band Father Son? The Glasgow band Father Son?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen them live though, I've heard of them.
yeah,
Unreal.
Yeah.
Unreal. No, I met Ross, the singer, at an open mic night in Glasgow, maybe two, 3 years ago. Yeah, 2021, when they just started opening back up and everything. And I'd gone to this open mic night thing and he was hosting it, and at the time I didn't know who he was. I played a little like 4-song set, and he came up and he chatted to me for ages. He was asking if I was gigging and all that sort of thing. We must have chatted for like maybe, I don't know, like half an hour, 45 minutes, and still had no idea. And I was like, so you play as well, you're sick, who do you play for, where can I check it out? And he was like, play for this band called Father Son, we're doing alright, but here's the link to all of our sort of stuff. And I went away, listened, quickly became one of my favourite bands on the planet. And I got to see them at Belladrum last year, and did not disappoint. Like, live was like the album on steroids somehow, but absolutely incredible.
it's great to talk about the passion that's in the music. You've very obviously got it, still have it. If you thought you might have lost it at one stage, you've got it in great bucket loads. Is there a song that you would like to do, we could introduce now, that would maybe reflect this element of the passion you have for the music, or a song that you're
So I'm just
favourite
thinking
to
of that
sing?
song that you mentioned there, where you're saying it's one of your best ones. I mean, was that Suicide, or is that one of the other two? That
Oh, this is one that I've not even got round to recording yet. It's a
Oh
very,
wow,
it's a very
okay.
new thing.
That's maybe really nosy. Well, we'll add that to the list below when
it
Calum
comes out,
lets
y'all
us
can be
know,
the
yeah,
first.
yeah.
We'll give you all
Thanks,
some
Calum.
exclusive. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. So is there another track then, like Alice was saying, that would, I suppose, in my mind, for from the passion that Calum is showing, it's kind of exciting. I'd kind of be keen to hear about other stuff as well, the older stuff that got you back into not just being that working musician, but what they're recording after that initial album.
Well, actually, yeah. So there was a couple tracks on my first album, One for the Road and Monster, which I'd done at the time. I actually wrote One for the Road in the car on the way to the studio.
It's a great track.
Yeah.
When I recorded that, because I was an album short, and I'd been listening to a guy called Matt Anderson, country guy.
Yeah.
Not even country, like like Americana blues country rock.
Rock,
sort of
yeah,
thing,
definitely, yeah.
And I'd been listening to him for a bit. I'd gone and seen him play in the Falkabers Institute, just like a solo gig, and it was unreal. Like, as a solo artist, possibly the most like on the edge of my seat I've ever been listening to him. But so I was a song short, and I was in the car on the way to the album, and 16-year-old me turns to my mum, and I was like, I'd really like to write a song about just getting trashed.
Just much impressed with.
Yeah.
Okay, sweetie.
Whatever you say.
Exactly. But yeah, so I'd been messing about with some chords because I tried to learn a couple of Matt Anderson stuff, and I'd ended up playing it wrong when I tried to learn it, and I was like, cool, that sounds sick anyway. I'll just use that. So I wrote One for the Road in the car on the way to the studio, and then kind of like figured out the rest of it whilst I was there for the rest of the day. And it quickly became a pub favourite, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And it still held the test of time when I was recording the third one. So I was like, I could really put some punch behind this one.
Yeah.
And just decided to take it a step further, shout a little louder. We can definitely stick that one.
Right, well, let's just put that one on.
You make me feel like I'm drowning in fire. Feel the burn when I sleep at night. I'm getting low, but I keep climbing higher. Won't go down without a fight. You make me lose my sense of direction, never knowing what way to run. You got your arms around my neck with intention, squeezing every last breath from my lungs. Give me walk by the road. It's been a dark and lonely long night. Give me walk by the road. I'm at the bottom of my bottle. I'll be feeling this tomorrow. Give me walk by the road. You make me feel like I'm boiling in water. Now my temperature's getting raised. You burn my soul, but it keeps getting hotter. So I'm gonna drink my trouble away. Give me walk by the road. It's been a dark and lonely long night. Oh, give me walk by the road. I'm at the bottom of my bottle. I'll be feeling this tomorrow. Give me walk by the road.
And then back out of that. You'd like to tell us a wee bit more, Calum, about some of the engineering aspects you were doing. We talked briefly about you play lots of instruments. Do you do much recording or production yourself, or do you leave that all to River J?
When it comes to with River, we do the pre-production together ourselves. If I have ideas and stuff for like parts and tracks. But when it comes to computers, I am not your man.
Oh,
at all.
I'm so relieved.
Yeah.
I was going to say, how far could your skills go? Because
I am not even phones and stuff. Like, I can't wait until I can just get back to walkie-talkies, or like cup phones strung up in that. Like, yeah, I would like to get to the point where if anybody wants to get in touch to me, they have to write a letter.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, it would be really nice.
Yeah, there's the thing.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
And don't talk to Ellis about it because he's absolutely brilliant at technology. So yeah.
I don't think so. Not at all. But, so for somebody that was starting off just now, 13, 15, 16, have you got any specific advice, or would you tell them anything that you would say would be it's handy to do? May not have the natural skills that you've got, but there's lots of people out there who are very keen to do a wee bit here. Imagine themselves being on
Like
stage
imagine
doing this.
being at one of your gigs at a festival. I assume you were talking about playing festivals over in Scandinavia, but imagine a kid over there looking at you and wanting to, you're the role model. So I mean, it's really around how Because you can remember being that kid looking at
Yeah.
how would you want to be advised and to get started?
I would say, from someone as lucky as myself to have done this for so long and starting so young and having the support network that I did, and even just some of the run-of-the-mill stupid luck opportunities I managed to come across myself. Don't feel pressure to be the best, because being the best is very objective in itself. You could think you're terrible at one thing and someone else could be like, that's awesome. Like, I have to remind myself every day that I'm living someone else's dream and living thousands of other people's dream, where I'm at, even if I'm like trying to look bigger and try to do different things, but also at the same time, don't make it your entire identity. Like, if you want to write music, write from your heart. One, because it's easier, and two, if you can train yourself to be honest and just write how you feel. One, those songs that you write are gonna make you feel good when you sing them, or make you feel really, really terrible if you write some sad songs. But still, you're gonna get to the end of it and be like, oh, that was a point in my life. And just document your own life. I've come to the conclusion in my writing that I don't want to write sad songs anymore, and I don't want to write upset, angry songs anymore, because I feel like I've done that for a very long time. I'm branching out into super mega fairy tale love rock or something. Do you know what I mean?
Well, it's funny you say that. So when I'd seen you live a good few times last year, and when the pubs were all opening up again, I said that to you, Ellis, that Calum was singing from his soul. So I would imagine if you're singing songs that are really deep, to do with hurts, wounds, whatever they may be, because I don't think you could mask that was the theme of the songs, that you're doing that every night is going to impact on you.
It drills it into you. It really drills it into you. And as I say, I'm a big crier. I'm the first person to put my hands up and say I'm an emotional wreck most of the time. But
you don't come across as that.
I think I'm even just like, I think about it all the time. I'm even very lucky just to have as loving and as caring a family as I have been blessed with in life. My mum literally like gave everything up to raise me and my brother, and was like, I'm gonna be a mum and do the job. And my dad, my dad was bringing in the bread and all that sort of thing, and they've just both been so compassionate and loving and everything. And I think it sometimes feels really disjointed to me singing about all these things that are a bit of an internal crisis. Because I think I did way too much thinking way too young, and got a bit existential on it way too young. And obviously it's really hard to speak about when you're that young. But like I was I got really interested in like religion, but not as into like be religious. I just got really like fascinated by it and all these different influences and all that sort of thing. And it's kind of the same music as music. Everything's just influenced by everything else, and then becomes these factions of this is what we do and this is what we do and this is what we do, and then for some reason everybody starts hating on everybody else, and it becomes this whole war of
folk versus rock.
It's like, you can't do that. You're a rock band, and it's watch me.
So it's
watch
a case
me
of
do it.
having to be grounded enough to realise where you are, but still be airy-fairy enough or enchanted enough to be able to have the dreamy lyrics and things come about. So it's a balance somehow.
It's I tried to get really like obviously with my mum and my dad's influence in music, going from like Dire Straits to like Fleetwood Mac and all these sort of things, like I always wanted to be like a great lyricist, and then I would finish an album and I would be really proud of it, and I'm like, some of these lyrics are really profound for me right now. And then I get to the next album and I'm like, I was speaking gibberish in that last one. Like, these are stilted sentences. But
there's no flow. But the thing is, though, as somebody else listening to your stuff afresh and anew and discovering all of your back work, you know, it's exciting because like you're saying, it's quite subjective, isn't it? So we were speaking about this the last time about how, because Ellis was talking about with the songwriting process, how it's for the listener to interpret whatever way they want. And when I'm writing it, I'm worried about what way they will interpret it, and I want them to hear it exactly the way I intended it to be.
God,
so, you know, so like as a songwriter, things are different. Your intent sometimes are really, really different.
Yeah, see, I'm the opposite. I literally, like, I will not tell you what my song is about.
Yeah.
Because if you attach something from yourself to that song, then I want you to have that.
Yeah,
but
that's
also,
what you were saying, Alice. That's so good.
But also, there are some songs where I'm like, there's a really clear message here, and if you don't get it, then that's on you. But also, I can be real sneaky with some of the new stuff. I've written some songs that I played them for my partner, and I had played them, and she was like, "That's just like a bit on the nose, but some people are not going to get this."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Cool,
yeah.
That's totally chill. That's fine by me." And as I say, like these days, I write for myself, and I write, and I really try to be very truthful, even if I do have a style or like a cadence that I'm trying to fulfill. Like if I want to have something that's got a specific groove, or like if I find a really nice chord progression that I want to write something of a certain aspect to, I still try and be very truthful with the words I speak. Because I just got really tired of singing words that I was no longer a part of because the moment had passed.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think now that I'm all loved up and getting husbanded and all that sort of thing, I just want
There's nowhere to go now.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there is.
Take that back.
This is from experience. But there's another aspect of people who may listen to these podcasts is to be concerned about the commercial viability of whatever they would do in their music career. You know, have you got any advice or information to pass on to people who are a bit concerned about Spotify and no money from Spotify, and what is the best way to get a return? I believe you said at some stage that small pub gigs pay you better than larger gigs. Is that correct?
Yeah, man. Like, but I mean, especially if you want to be really tired all the time and have a really messed up sleep schedule and find it really hard to eat properly all the time, then gigging life is for you. But I got myself into a position where I was like, right, I know what I can make for one gig, how much money do I want to make, and how many gigs do I need to do to make that happen. And now I'm in the position where I have a duo set up with an accordion player that I can play the gigs before my gigs with him, and I don't need to sing the whole way through. So I can play 2 shows a day. So I can play 2 shows a day, and and then I just choose how much of the year I want to work, depending on how much money I want to make. And if you can get yourself into a structured, it sucks sometimes. It's really horrible sometimes, and we don't get sick days as artists. So be prepared to lose some of the money that you budgeted for yourself by obviously getting sick at some point throughout the year, unless you're immune to everything. Some days you take some weeks you take big massive hits if you've got a cold and you physically can't get out of bed, and you need to kind of readjust for that. But also, I have always said to myself, and I've always held on to, actually not even to myself, I was mentored by Rick Taylor when I was younger. I used to play jazz drums for the National Youth Orchestra of Jazz, of National Jazz Orchestra of Scotland, youth like summer school thing, and I met Rick Taylor, who was Elton John's trombone player.
Wow.
And
cool.
The most incredible, gentle, creative, just like amazing man. And I kind of grew up with him basically from when I was like 15 to 18. Every year, and then eventually I was like, he always said, if anybody needs help, just ask for it, I'll give you my number. So I phoned him one day, and I was like, Rick, I've decided to record an album, can you let me know what you think of it? And he was like, yeah, sure, and he gave me loads of feedback, and then I wrote more music, and I was like, I've got these, I'm going to wait to go and record them, and instantly he was like, come and stay at my house for a week, we'll pre-produce all of them, like I'll sit down with you, I can show you how I go about it, because he was also writing for films and stuff and and all that sort of thing, and doing wild stuff with composition. So I took the opportunity, went and stayed with him and his girlfriend Pam for a week. We recorded, wrote a bunch of stuff, and that was kind of my introduction to like how to build a track, because before I was kind of just like sticking stuff on. But yeah, no, he'd always said to me, he was like, you work to make money and you use money to spend time. Okay. So your money is your time, save it up, and then you have all of your time to spend. Because if you can like build it up that way and know how much you're putting out into the world, like how much money do you need to make to be able to spend the amount of money you spend?
Yes. Okay.
And then how quickly can you do that to be able to spend the time you save? So it was like, yeah, he was always like, we make money, we spend time. So for me, it's always been like, how little of the year can I work while still being able to survive throughout the year?
Yeah.
And then I can spend my time with my family, or I can spend my time doing the stuff like writing the next album and pre-producing the next album. And then after that, once I've got that done, I'm like, right, I need to earn $5,000 to record this album. So then I just add that onto the next ticket, and I'm like, right, now I'm working to be able to do this, and then hopefully the album will make me some money, so it will pay for itself back in time.
And I think that was the thing about, like, so, because when Ellis and I had come up with this idea to speak to musicians, it was how to get that music out there that becomes a viable ways. You know, you spin all that and you do the equations and the mathematics have gone over my head, and then you've got this brilliant piece of work, but where does the income come from when you have this brilliant piece of work? Because, you know, you've got an avid listenership in your Spotify. You're not somebody like myself as in the negative zone of all of this, and that you don't see any. So you know, so there's that bigger question around how viable it is to record now and make that work for you, isn't it? There's still a question out there.
I think, especially because there are so many talented, like, young home producers that can do everything from a laptop on a train.
Yep. Yeah.
And because music has become so much more digital, like, guitar bands even nowadays aren't just guitar bands. Everybody's playing to tracks, and they have this whole array of metronomes going in their ears and cues of when stuff is coming in, and all of this other noise that's going on in the background. That real instrument orientated music is much harder to record and requires a lot more time and a lot more space, and sometimes not a lot more knowledge, because if you know what you're looking for, you can just twiddle dials until you find the sound. But when I'm looking at a computer screen with all of these numbers and frequencies and stuff on it, I can't do it. So I have to go into a studio where the engineer can look at all of that for me, and I can just go and twiddle some knobs and be like, I like this sound, how do we make it sound more like this? And then he can dial it in on the computer. But when it comes to putting music out there, unfortunately nowadays is, for the up and coming musician, a difficult thing. Bandcamp is really good because people can pay for it, but how many people are paying for it these days unless they really want it? I would say, to make money, if you have good music in a small fan base, find your artistic side and work on your merch a little bit. Even at the start, like, if you just got a basic t-shirt a basic t-shirt with your band name, you can even get like the Fruit of the Loom t-shirts. And like the iron-on thing, like, it's a cheap way to do it. Iron on your logo, get your friends wearing them for a little bit, get some photos, put it on like a Shopify thing, and then it's just click to order. And especially if you're making them yourselves, then you can just like make them as they come. So you can like batch make them and then just have them sitting in the house. You don't need to wait for them to come. Because also investing in merchandise is very expensive at the start too.
Yes, I can imagine.
Like, it's even still expensive for me, and I'm like, it's something I really want to sink my money to and into at the moment, but it's too expensive for it to be my priority right now. Even though I know like having merch would definitely help me right now. But I'm still in the same boat where I'm like, it's a massive expense to like order that in the hopes that someone's going to buy it someday. And I'm also at the point where I don't even know if I want to have my merch connected to me. I think I would quite like to make it like a clothing brand in its own right, because I've got loads of tattoos that I really like that I would love to have screen printed onto t-shirts, and then it's still connected to me, but it's not just a t-shirt with my name on it.
Yes, yeah.
So think of cool things. In my opinion, if you want to go down the merchandising route, go for better quality clothing that you yourself would like to wear on a daily basis. Make it your own style. Like, don't think about anybody else. Think about the clothes that you want to wear, that you would find cool and you would want to wear on the daily. Even if it does have your name, be proud of it. You've made it. But like, if you can think of stuff that is you fashion-wise, like artistically you in aesthetic, with something you would want to wear that you hold personal, then people are going to see that and be like, that's your thing.
Yeah.
Let me get in on that,
Yeah.
so I can support you. It's not, I think too many people are worried these days about trying to impress the buyer with the things that they think the buyer wants. But if you're writing genuine music that you want to connect with people, they're not looking for the song, they're looking for you. And for me, that sucks, because I don't want anybody to know who I am, and I don't want to speak to anybody, and being around people is hard. So trying to let people in on myself has been weird, but also now that I'm starting to do it and other people understand being weird around people and finding it difficult, like, I'm now starting to connect with more people over stuff that we have in common, and they also like my music, so it becomes like a one-on-one interaction with fans. And I can hand on heart say that like 80% of the people that follow me on Instagram I have met and had a conversation with in person, if not more than that. Like, because I do tend to, like, in my breaks at gigs, people will like say hi, and I will have a conversation with that person and stick a business card in their hand, and they walk away with that and the conversation, and they go, I've met this guy now, so I'll follow him. And if they message me on Instagram, then I reply to them on Instagram, and it becomes a personal connection. Now, people say that you need to do this all the time, but actually, if we go around expecting everybody to give us all of their energy all the time and all of their attention all the time, then it becomes a real burden on everybody. Like, you cannot expect any of us to reply every time all the time. One, because you're living your life and I'm living my life, and they're two separate things, and sometimes we live on the opposite side of the planet and have met each other once. Now, I love you and I appreciate you, and I'm really, really proud and accepting of this beautiful conversation and moment that we had as an interaction when we met at the show. But now that we're connected in the music, and I would love to see you at a show someday, and we'll pick it up there in person. But now that we have that connection, and I think loads of people think that just like one message back and forward is not a grounding connection, but in the first instance, if you've been at your show, you've played a gig, and somebody expresses their appreciation for that, then have a conversation with them and get to know them a little bit. And then if you connect online, then do the same, but a little bit. It doesn't need to be the whole time, because that's when stalkers come in and it gets weird. But don't be afraid to have a physical and actual interaction with people, because it does help. And I think, especially trying to make money from your music these days, the whole impersonal side of social media is a real drain to really actually doing anything and making an impact. Spotify, you're not making money off of. Apple Music, I don't know if people still buy music off of iTunes.
I mean, you still have the option to, but I don't know.
If you've got a subscription.
It's been a long time since I've done anything with that. And YouTube Music as well, there's play off that, and we were speaking about that the last time as well. YouTube
videos are great. If you can, like, even if you're just like sitting doing like covers and stuff, I don't do it because I'm lazy. It's not actually. It's not because I'm lazy. It's just because I can't sit for that long. I struggle now that I'm playing music all the time. I struggle to pick up the guitar when I'm home, and I need the time off to be able to like actually get a few days off and then have a few days where I can do what I want to do. Yeah. So also don't work yourself into the ground. That is a fantastic bit of advice. But for money, I would say merchandise is where the money's made nowadays. If you're in a position to have like if you're up here in the Highlands, you're in small town villages and stuff all the time. So if you have a village hall, put a gig on at the village hall. Invite all your people, make it a bring your own booze, and even if you don't want to ticket it, if you're in a community that you're trying to create a musical atmosphere for, just put a donations on the door. You'd be surprised. Most of the time you will make more money doing a donation than you will at a ticketed event. But if you can do something that's a bring your own booze, it's nice and relaxed, and everybody realises that all of this is about supporting this up and coming band, then do it. Don't be afraid to get your community involved and like actively go out and source them and be like, we want to do this and we want a crowd there. We want to have a gig and do what we've been creating. We're not asking for it to be like you buying tickets to come and see us because you're fans. It's like, come and see us and have a nice night because we want to do this for you. And then one, that gets you building up your confidence on stage. It gets you building up all these little things. Learn how to sound check, right? That will make you money, for real. Learn how to sound check. If you don't know how to sound check, and honestly, most people don't, but if you're a band and you turn up at your first gig and you know how to sound check, boom, they'll probably tip you. Like, for real.
How do you do that as a solo artist, Calum? Like, because that's something I would struggle with, to sound check on my own. How do you do that?
I got really good at hearing what it sounds like from behind the speakers.
Right.
And then it sounded beautiful to me. And then one day I went out the front while one of my pals was playing my guitar and having a shot, and I was like, oh no, it sounds dreadful. So I did the exact opposite on the desk, and then I went and stood out the front and it sounded good. So I just need to make it sound horrible to myself. And then it sounds okay out the front. I know that doesn't really help the question, but nah, I did. Like, we've always just done our own sound. Like my mum did the sound for my bands when I was younger, and we just learned together. And then as like the tech progressed and all the digital stuff started coming out, I got real scared and avoided that at all costs for ages. But I just got my first digital desk. Not like, actually, this is a bit of an embarrassing story, but I got my
That's what we want.
I got my first digital desk. I got an Allen & Heath SQ5 because it had been recommended as like the best one for me to get for like an interface, and it had enough channels for me to set the whole band up on. It had the ability to record through on all of the channels, so all round it was the perfect one for me to have in the house. And I got it, and then 6 months later I was able to turn it on. And then 6 months after that, I took it to the first gig and I couldn't get it to make a noise. So I think I had it for 18 months before I managed to start figuring it out. But it's definitely not their fault. It was the fact that, one, I had no knowledge of like anything to do with sound properly beforehand. It was just like, I turn this button and it makes it sound nicer. But yeah, before I had no idea, and looking at these big flashy buttons and things that move with a grid was like, nah. But I am slowly starting to get better. But at the same time, it's one of these things. I've never been in a rush to do anything. And I think as far as setting expectations for yourself when it comes to money and working in the music industry, like, it's a massive, massive industry. And it's a really hard slog. And young people, young people still living at home with their parents, you guys are probably in the best position to make a good crack at it now. Before it starts getting really hard. I was real lucky that my parents let me stay with them until now, and now we're moving together. So, they were always like, if you want to focus and do stuff on the career side of things, then you can stay here. And that made things so much easier. But setting your expectations doesn't mean limiting your aspirations and dreams. It means find a base level of what you would be happy with, to start off with. If you're genuinely thinking, I want to be in the music industry full time, I'll just use myself as an example. It was, how do I support myself financially and still leave myself just enough time to be able to be creative and not burn myself out? So for me, it's pub gigs. Inverness is fantastic, and honestly could do with some new talent. Like, some young people coming in and changing up the scene would be amazing.
Yeah.
Inverness is unreal when it comes to the music scene. There's music in most of the pubs 7 days a week.
It's like Nashville at the minute.
Yeah. And like sometimes there's even 3 bands a night. During the summer, and now that some of these places are getting longer licenses, there could be as much as 5.
Oh wow.
So yeah, like if you're around this area, or even if you're just in the position where you can get yourself, like if you're older and you're driving and you're doing your thing and you want to do it full time, get yourself here, move here if you want it to be like a full-time thing. It's really great. I would recommend it even more than Glasgow and Edinburgh, I'll be honest with you. It's just a less diluted pond, and do you know what, the wages are fair. And and it just gets you on the scene. You can do it a week at a time and play in a different bar every week, a different bar every day, and do your thing, and that will support you, for real. That will support you. Be living comfy, it'll be alright, but that's an expectation. And then on top of that, you can then start working on all these aspirations and all that. But I would say, don't be disheartened if you're not instantly getting famous on that first album, or you're not instantly making money from your own music. Be prepared to make money off of other people's music for a while, and don't be ashamed of it. For a long time, and actually for a little bit recently, I was like, I'm struggling to find the will to be playing other people's music. And I just felt guilty about it, and I was like, and then I have to keep reminding myself that these songs are successful for a reason, and people like to listen to them for a reason, so why not give it to them? But also, you can put your own spin on any song, and that's what I've started doing, is just messing them up, like, for real. I even stopped listening to them before I learned them. It was a great idea for myself, and I annoy so many people with my cover of Caledonia. I'll be honest with you, it's amazing. And I'll be honest, it's because I didn't listen to it before I learned it. Right. I just looked at the chords and played it how I thought it went. But also, on the other side of that, I've had people coming up to me in tears being like, that is the most beautiful rendition of that song I've heard. And I'm like, okay, so you will always get 2 sides of the spectrum.
Maybe now's a good time to have another bit of music of your music. Perhaps not Caledonia, but something else.
Are you diehard about Caledonia? Is that an untouchable?
Not at all.
No.
I didn't play it for long enough. But what would you like to play now?
I'll give you a song called "Why," which I wrote with River J, and I'd had the chorus for ages. I'd had the chorus for so long, to the point where it was even like an earwig. Like an earworm in my own head, and I'd be like, it's not even a song, but it's just in my head. And I'd gone down and I played it for her, and then the next day we were meant to be writing something else, and she's like, I can't get that chorus out of my head. So we ended up working on that, and I kid you not, we put the 2 verses on it and the bridge on in like 20 minutes. It just like rattled off, and we're like, sound, there we go. So we recorded it over the next couple of days, and it's become probably my favourite song out of all of the ones recently that I've done, and it's happy. It's happy and upbeat and nice, and it's a rarity that I do something like that. So we'll give you "Why."
Okay, that's lovely. Let's put that on now then.
That's great.
If you're worrying about life, all your struggles and strife, then the grass is always greener on the other side. Just let go of what's wrong, let the birds sing your song. What are we doing? Where are we going? How we gonna get there today? It's a little bit boring talking about the weather. There must be something more interesting to say. So I said, why are we wasting our time fighting to survive if we ain't gonna live it all? Yeah, I said, why are we wasting our time fighting to survive if we ain't gonna live it all?
Okay, Calum, thanks very much for that. That's "Why." the next thing I was wanting to ask you about was songwriting. You know, everybody's got their own idea of what songwriting is or how they go about it. You mentioned before we played Why that you had a chorus rattling around for a while, couldn't get out of your head. I find that as well. So there's ways of doing it. Everybody, you hear about David Bowie writing sentences down or lines down and just join them up together to make a song. Everybody's got their own ideas. Do you get any ideas or thoughts on how people should approach songwriting, or not to be, I would say, not to be worried about abstract ways of writing songs, because it all works and it's all genuine. There's not a good or a bad way. Do you have any thoughts on that, Tom?
Exactly that. There's not a good or a bad way or a right method or a wrong method. For myself, I very much sometimes get stuck in, I'll stick with the process for a while and then it stops working for me, so then I need to like actively go out and try and find a different process. When I was younger, a lot of the time I would write drum grooves and then I would just like write stuff over the top of drum grooves, and then as I got older I would start like having like a list of notes in my phone with just like specific lines, and then I would one day get like a riff or even just like a chord progression or just like one chord, and I would be like, that could fit with that. A lot of the time for me I get really bored and end up writing the same thing over and over again, so being a guitarist, I can detune to alternate tunings and stuff. That's a massive help. Even just like playing stuff that sounds wrong, and getting used to dissonance.
Pushes you out of your comfort,
Like if you can get used to like crunchy weird stuff that kind of sounds a little bit off and a little bit jarring, but once you kind of get used to it, you'll find places that it kind of just sits in nicely, and it'll make you feel good. But for me, a lot of it is just trying to put out what I'm feeling at the time, or like write about specific things that are going on in my head.
And it comes from, you do both playing chord shapes and you like this riff or that, and you then produce the song from that, or you start sometimes with lyrics only, or do a mixture. How do you do it?
So there's some days where I can write out on a sheet like a whole, like a verse chorus bridge chorus, and then I'll be like, right, what do I want to do with this and what direction do I want to take it in, and then I can just like mess about with it. Time signature is also another thing. Sometimes it's nice to set yourself a time signature before you write to paper if you're not going to produce music beforehand, because I've had way too many occasions where I'll write and then I'll be like, oh, wicked, and I'll have a sort of rhythm going in my head for it, and then I'll go to write to it and I'm like, oh, this is in the wrong time signature for what I had going on. But
I know I had a similar thing once. I this song, and I decided I would do it at Bellydrum, and my son Alan was going to play bass for me, and I sent him it. He's down in Edinburgh. I sent him a copy of this, and I said, see how you got on with that, and he came back to me. He said, there's something strange going on here. He says, you're actually in 4/4, and then you're changing it to 3/4 for this bit, and then you're going back to 4/4. I hadn't realised it.
Doing that is actually wicked as well. Messing with time signatures and key changes. Everybody like chats about the Westlife and the key changes and all that sort of thing, but it's well fun. It's really fun, and like trying to write modally as well. Like,
did you say Westlife?
Yeah, doing a Westlife.
Oh yeah, great.
Yeah,
I've got all their choreography down to a T. Sorry. Okay.
But
So people are modelling their the changes in key changes on Westlife. I think Westlife stole that off Eurovision, if I'm being honest.
Probably. I'm still calling it a Westlife.
Yeah, that's so
I
funny.
think about Westlife.
Yeah.
But and obviously just like, don't shut your mind off, and like, I guess if you want to pigeonhole yourself and your dream is to be this one type of musician that plays a singular type of music, then awesome. If that's your thing, that's your thing. But for me, like, just being limited to one thing, I just get bored really quickly. I get bored really, really quickly, and like sometimes I want to write a country song, and sometimes I'm really mad at stuff that's going on in the world, and I have a big fat gnarly riff that requires some aggression, and
that's what I'm finding. I'm meeting more and more people who they don't want pigeonholed. They don't want to be country. They don't want to be folk, trad. jazz, whatever.
Yeah.
But they play all styles, or they want to play all styles, and write in all styles.
Exactly.
That
Yeah.
seems to be a much nicer way of going
Yeah.
about it.
And it's awesome. And what people forget is that even sometimes, even if you do just want to, if you as an artist want to be one type of artist and project that as your physical ability and your physical self, and this is what I do as a musician, it doesn't mean you can't still go and write a country album or a folk album and sell it to someone else. And like writing music for other people, fantastic way to make money. Writing music that you can, like, there's loads and loads of like online companies nowadays that you can go and sign up for like publishing and all this sort of thing. Vamper is a really good one. They've got a publishing site, and it's like an app that you can type in what you're looking for, like if you're looking for a producer, or you're looking for a bass player for a session thing for recording, or a songwriter, if you're looking for a writer to write something to a bit of music that you've produced, for like lyrics and stuff. Vamper, you type in what you're looking for, you can swipe to find the people that swipe like along. It's kind of like LinkedIn, but like quicker.
Wow.
But it's also got a publishing agency attached to it, so you can sign all your songs up on there. And if they get any adverts or like little things, or they want to use it on like the Vamper site itself, then you still make money off of it. There's loads and loads of ways to make money in the music industry apart from just playing or writing it.
Yeah.
And yes, it means you're signing away royalties, but that sounds so much scarier than it is, because half of nothing is still nothing. Or like 10% of nothing is still nothing. Like if you're getting 10% taken off as like a managerial or an admin fee for something that's going to get you £500, like take the hit on the 50, you would have had nothing before. Music and the music industry is extremely proudful and pride filled, to its own detriment. A lot of people, for some reason, seem to think that there is a way to do things, and if you to be cool and to be rock star and all this sort of thing. But if you write in a really soppy love song that gets nominated for a Grammy, means you get into the studio to record the extremely aggressive death metal stuff that you want to do, write it. Write it. And if that soppy love song is awesome, then do a metal version of it. Like,
but that's it, like Extreme, you know, what's that song by Extreme? Do you know that one?
Oh, yeah.
More Than Words.
Yeah.
And they are a rock band. They were absolutely hated that, That's the only reason I know Extreme.
Yeah, but like,
no, I get you though.
Yeah, just honestly, the best advice anybody can ever give you in life is that just do your thing.
Yeah.
And be proud of it. So many people, we're living in a world that is kind of designed to make us think that we're doing this for anybody else, but it's great to do it for everybody else, but don't forget about yourself, and don't forget why you're doing this in the first place. And if the reason you're doing this in the first place is because you love music and love the way it makes you feel, doing it for nothing is not doing it for nothing. You're doing it for yourself, and you're doing it for all of the feel that it gives you, and all of that expression and the power that you can feel within words you write, or notes you play, or things you hit, or just like anything you can do that makes you feel a certain way is worth doing. And if you can monetize that, then even better. Like everybody says, do the whole social media thing and get it going. But if that's not your thing, don't worry, because it's not my thing either, and I really struggle with it. And yes, one day I will eventually get myself into a routine where I can maybe shove out a couple videos every couple of weeks, but it probably won't be any more than that, and it won't be anything that I don't want to do myself. The life that I could maybe one day get used to the idea of sharing with the world is the fact that I just want to live slow and write music and do it because it's fun. And yes, playing pub gigs all the time can get tiring, but you'll get a Saturday night one night that will be heaving, and everybody will be so up for it, and it makes up for it tenfold. You'll be buzzing at you'll be buzzing at gigs for the next month after that, and then it'll get a little bit tiring again, and then you'll have another banging gig. But it's the same in every occupation under the sun.
I was just gonna say.
Everybody has good days, everybody had bad days, but just be so grateful that if you're able to do what you love to do, then you're getting to do it, and that is a massive achievement. You should be so proud of yourself if you're like, just being able to say, I'm a musician, and that's what I do, and I mean it, and that's my job. Like, every day I'm like, wow, it's mad. It's really mad. And for me doing it like so young, like, I kind of didn't really appreciate it until like this past year. And yeah, I've gone off and done some stuff this year that I actually can't talk about, that is like, would be awesome to talk about later in the year.
That'd be our next series. You're doing series 2 of Unheard.
But there are some opportunities out there that if you are willing to put the fear of judgment aside and actually just do it for yourself, one, you will feel so good about it, even if at the time it gives you crazy panic attacks and makes you feel like you're gonna die. You'll get there and it will make you feel amazing. So yeah, do it for yourself in the beginning and no one else. Don't let anybody tread on your toe and tell you to change stuff. But yeah, do it for yourself, and if you don't worry about the money, it will eventually start coming. Like, it's the same as anything. You will be a self-employed musician that is having to do everything off your own back. So don't be put off when it's really hard for the first couple of years, and it will be really hard for the first couple of years, but if you love it, then you won't not enjoy it. It will be hard in the social life and finding time to do other stuff, but you will still love everything you're doing, and it will be so worth it when you eventually start looking at your paycheck going, I can live on this. And I can do this full time now.
And I suppose it's at any years. I mean, you've taken us on, I feel really in awe of you, Calum, from just listening to you. I could listen to you talk about it all day, because it's the passion is oozing out of you, and it's kind of, there's a lot of reflection going on in my mind about when I was aspirational as a young one. I feel older today. I was having a go at Ellis the last time in my ageist way. But I mean, I can see it, and I can definitely see how if you have the support and backing behind you, that you can actually grow, because your knowledge and awareness around music is 100 times more than I have, because you are immersed in it.
And just completely surrounded.
And that's your wave patterns, and that's life, like you're saying.
It is just supporting, and this is where I feel like it lacks. And to be honest with you, one last thing I will say in the whole and how beneficial having a support network can be is that it doesn't matter if it's your family, it doesn't matter if it's your friends, it doesn't matter who it is. If you can find the people that genuinely want to see you succeed, and find the people who are genuinely there for you at any time, when you're struggling, when you're having a good one, and they are willing to share in your success. And like, it's so easy to find people that you think have the best at heart for you, but actually they're just trying to jump on the bandwagon, and when you start succeeding that little bit more, then they try and rein you back in. But if you can find the people that accept you for yourself at baseline, I'm not talking about the music, I'm not talking about the type of music you want to play or the thing you want to do. If you can find the people in your life that are there for you in your life, and you can go off and do your thing and they'll be proud of you, they can go off and do their thing and you can be proud of them, those people that are your core values at heart, that is the support network you need. It's not these people that will tell you what you want to hear in the hopes that they're going to get free tickets at your Sunlight concert show. Hang out with the right people that are there for you at all times, even if you think they're the boring ones, even if you think they're the people that are, because they're happy working their 9 to 5, but actually they're happy working their 9 to 5 because they're successful in life and not just in their job. They're doing it because of the love of what they do. And if you can do the same and find those other people that are just going to raise you up further every time, then do that and stick it out and get rid of everybody else, because anybody who doesn't phone you after you being away for 2 weeks, you don't need to talk to them. Like, you need the people that are gonna not hear from you in 2 hours and be like, that's a bit weird. Where's he at?
Yeah.
Or like, somebody that knows if you've not gotten in contact with them for like 2 days, then something's wrong.
Yes, yeah.
Not these people that will message you like once every year and
Fair-weathered. They're fair-weathered folk. Yeah.
Find the real ones.
Yeah.
And you'll do well.
I love it, and I think we will, because we're, like I say, we could talk for hours, but we're trying. I'm putting all the editing onto Ellis. Ellis is like, Siobhan, stop talking, but I can't help myself. But I think we probably will. We're going to have a look at kind of concluding our conversation, Calum, with the hope then that we can have you back at a later date when all the exciting stuff is coming again.
Yeah.
Is there a specific track then that you're thinking? Unless Ellis, have you got?
Well, just to say, I was going to thank Calum for coming in, and I found him a very grounded
unbelievably grounded,
very generous person to others.
I heavily appreciate that.
Comes over. You don't just talk for the period of time we've been talking about without the depth of feeling you have for other people. That comes over in your music. We're delighted you've come here, and I think if there's people out there wanting to do something with music and they're not inspired by listening to you, I don't know whether they're actually going to make it or not.
That's right. I agree with you there.
And actually, do you know what? Just while everybody's listening at the end here, if you do need some help and some contacts, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram. Just give me a message and I will point you in any direction that I can help you with or anything. It's at Calum Jones Music on the Instagram, same at Facebook. But yeah, I think my personal one's on there as well, which I don't get requests for. But if you can't find me on the personal one, just get me on the music page. And anything I can do to help, I will help.
Thanks again, Calum.
Thanks, Calum.
Thank
you.
Yeehaw.
That brings us to the end of this episode of Unheard, Music from the Highlands. If you enjoyed the music and stories today, be sure to check out the featured artist. You'll find links to their work in the show notes, along with more from the growing community of original musicians across the Highlands. For playlists, bonus content and updates on future episodes, head over to our website. And don't forget to follow or subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Thanks for tuning in, and as always, keep supporting local music and local music venues. And keep listening to the sounds rising from the hills. Take care. Catch you later.